Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mixed Level Yoga. I'm Michelle Chua. So we're beginning lying down on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana, where your knees are bent wide, soles of the feet come together. And like I said earlier, if the knees are uncomfortably lifting away from the floor, you could place something like a folded towel under each outer thigh to support your legs opening. Just take a moment if you need to shift around, like turning the head and just allowing your neck to loosen up, unwind. Rocking the pelvis, perhaps left and right. Softly massaging your sacrum on the ground. And if you feel like your mind is very active right now, a nice way to tune inward more easily is to place your left hand on your heart, place your right hand on your lower belly. Literally connect to the center of your body. As you allow your body to find some stillness, perhaps close your eyes. Take a moment to feel the space externally that you're in, the ground supporting your body, the temperature of the air, any scents or sounds around you. Simply heightening your awareness of what is. Being with your body, notice how it might be speaking to you right now. Any sensations. No need to label them good or bad, all wonderful information for you to work with. Notice the way that your body is breathing. Feel into your state of mind. Perhaps any thoughts that are more pronounced right now. And then dropping a little deeper into your own presence, that underlying awareness of it all. What's inspired you to practice yoga today, whether for the first time or the 100th or 1000th? What are you choosing to nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit with as we connect in community, supporting each other? As you clarify that for yourself, begin to deepen your breath. Opening your mouth as you exhale. Let the breath become gently louder. Feel the fullness of the inhalation, expanding a little more of your body each time. Feel the sweet release of the breath, dwelling at the bottom, that sense of clarity, emptying the breath. Begin to find a rhythm to your breath where you balance breathing in as slowly as breathing out. And as you close the lips, invite warmth into your body using Ujjayi Pranayama, which literally means victorious breath. Breathing just through the nose and softly whispering the breath out through the nose. Even it out. So at any point during this physical practice that you might find your breath become choppy or violent, take that as information to slow your body down, perhaps come down to sit or child's pose or rest, knowing that you always have options. No matter how often you've practiced yoga before, you're dealing with what's here and now. So as you continue to hear your breath flow, smooth, sustained, bring your hands to your outer thighs, draw your knees in towards your chest, and begin to rotate your thighs together and apart in opposite directions, just beginning to warm up your hips, lubricating your hip joints, massaging your glutes and lower back on the floor. Rotating the legs, breathing in, breathing out. Then keep your knees together, scoot your hips a little closer to the right side of your mat. Open your arms wide apart on the floor like a T, keeping your right shoulder grounded. Begin a twist to your left, dropping the knees towards the left side. If you feel that your right shoulder starts to lift away from the ground, go a little less in the twist or place something underneath your left thigh, like your folded blanket. Turning your head to the right, feel the stretch in your neck. As you breathe in, fill up your belly, fill up your chest. As you breathe out, allow your belly to hollow, gently pressing it in towards your spine. Let your attention to these more subtle details just help your mind find ease in being present in this moment. Begin to lift your knees. Slide your pelvis a little closer to the left side of your mat. Keep the left shoulder on the floor and twist to your right slowly. And you might catch your right thigh with your folded blanket if you have one. Turning your head to the left. Breathe in, feel your belly gently expand. Breathe out, feel it hollow. Nice way to calm the nervous system is to also breathe into the stomach, which in turn helps to stimulate your digestion. Then roll onto your back. We're going to add a little more activity here to warm up. So bring your arms straight down by your sides. Draw the tailbone towards the earth so you maintain a natural curve in the lower back, but you just simply engage the belly more firmly towards the spine. Begin to straighten the right leg forward, flexing both feet. Hover your right heel about 2 inches off the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, switch. Straighten the left leg to hover. Bend the right knee like you're riding a bicycle. Inhale. Exhale. Go a little bit faster. Find a steady rhythm. We're going to do this for a minute. Now, if you feel like adding more rigor, extend the arms forward, hovering off the floor. Coil your chest up off the floor so head and shoulders are off the ground. Feel the open space at your throat. We're about halfway there. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, if you know breath of fire and you want to add a little more intensity, close the lips. Inhale passively, exhale actively, bouncing navel to spine. Try reverse, pedaling the legs backwards. Breathe in, breathe out, or breath of fire. Last 20 seconds. Firm the navel towards the spine. Relax the face. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Adding a little warmth. Now straighten the legs to hover off the floor. You can lower head and shoulders if you like, or come into Ardha Navasana. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Soften the face. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale, release everything to the ground. Take a deep breath in, raise the arms overhead, stick out your tongue, open the mouth wide, lion's breath. One more time. Inhale deeply, stretch through both ends of your body, arms overhead, stick out the tongue, cross the eyes, lion's breath. Nice. And then from here, bend your right knee into your chest. Bring your right arm inside of your right thigh as if coming into happy baby with that leg. With your right index and middle fingers, your peace fingers, clasp your right big toe. Flexing both feet, keep the left leg straight on the floor. Place your left hand just underneath your left frontal hip bone. So press the left thigh into the ground. As you keep both hips on the floor, draw the right hip towards the front edge of your mat, away from your right armpit, lengthening the right side body, and begin to extend the right leg open out to its side, just the degree that your left hip can stay rooted on the ground. You don't need to straighten the right leg all the way unless you feel ready to. We haven't warmed up much. Supine, hand to big toe pose. So if you were doing this standing upright on your left foot, balancing on the floor, feel your two shoulders pressing against the earth, equally pressing both hips onto the ground. Shoulders stack above hips, left hip stacks above left ankle. Take one more breath. Rebend your right knee into your chest. Point the toes. Release the right leg straight on the floor. Bend your left knee into your chest. Flex both feet. With your right hand on the top of your right thigh, firm the right hip to the ground. Left arm inside of left thigh. Use your left peace fingers to clasp your left big toe. Then begin to extend the left leg straight to the left. Doesn't have to go all the way straight. Just find the degree that doesn't cause any strain. Just a little bit of opening. Now feel that left hip. Does it begin to hike up closer to your left armpit? Draw that left hip away from your left armpit towards your inner right heel. And try to balance your two hips equidistant from your two shoulders. Grounding hips, grounding shoulders. Last deep breath. In Supta Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Hand to big toe pose. Rebend your left knee into your chest. Point your toes again. Then catch both bent knees and begin to rock yourself either sideways or forward and back a few times, building momentum to eventually rise up to sit and come down to all fours, hands and knees. As you ground through fingers spread, knees under hips, wrists a couple inches in front of shoulders, begin to move your body, your spine in any way that feels good. You might start with cat-cow, where you inhale to coil the chest up, lengthening the lower back. And you exhale to round the spine, tucking the tailbone under. And as you do that, a few more movements on your own, I'm going to read a little bit of inspiration from a book written by one of my meditation teachers. His name is Ronald Alexander. The book is Wise Mind, Open Minds. It starts with a quote by Alan Wheelis. My quest is paradoxical. The distant truth I seek lies hidden in the motivation that sends me searching. Though it impels me outward toward the world, I must find a way to bend it back upon itself and make it illuminate its origin. Ronald Alexander says that within each of us lies resources as hidden as a vein of gold, buried deep within a mountainside. As you feel ready, tuck your toes, lift your pelvis up and back into downward facing dog. Your gold is your unique set of interests, talents, and skills, as well as your passions, yearnings, and capacity for experiencing well-being. Expressing your inner gold will give you a sense of joy and purpose. The great opportunity in any crisis is that it can awaken you to your desire for meaning, for living more authentically, more vibrantly. Your inner gold consists of your resources for creating a new, more satisfying mandala. Begin to walk to the front of your mat to stand in a forward fold. Separate your feet at least hips distance, parallel your feet, then bend your knees generously and reach your hands behind your back to interlace your fingers or to grab something like a strap to hold between your hands. A little easier if the shoulders are tight. With generously bent knees, tilt your weight forward so it's a little heavier on the balls of your feet. Draw in the belly, firm the abdomen, and lift your chest to look forward, rising halfway up. Breathe in and hug the elbows bent closer together. As you exhale, fold down towards your right leg. As you straighten the right leg, drop the skull. Keep breathing through the nose and lift your arms to reach towards overhead away from the lower back. Left knee is bent. Take another deep breath here as we warm up into the hamstring and calf. Into the back. Bend both knees, come back through center, switch the interlacing of thumb and index on top, and again, lift the chest, draw the belly in, inhale, bend the elbows close together. Exhale, straighten the left leg and fold into it. Leading your weight forward, drop the skull. Take a few breaths here. Right knee is bent, arms are lifting away from the lower back to broaden the chest. Shoulders are rising away from the neck to free the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your arms, bend both knees, drop the chin towards your chest. And as you press to your feet and hollow your belly, begin to roll the spine to stack one vertebra at a time. When you rise all the way to the top, raise your arms overhead, watching your palms meet. Take a deep breath in there, stand tall. Then exhale, trace your thumbs down your center line. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the space around you with the arms. Bend the knees if necessary to fold with a feeling of a flat back. Press your hands on the floor or your legs to inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine forward. Place your hands flat on the ground, step back into a plank pose, and let's pause for a few breaths. Now, plank could be done with your knees on the floor, especially if you feel that your pelvis is collapsing, causing strain in the lower back, or the tailbone is lifting too much, almost like a downward dog. You want to create a straight line from the top of the head, tailbone to heels, lifting the lower belly, expanding the chest as you look slightly forward. Use an exhalation to slowly lower forward. Hug the elbows to your side ribs. As you come down, lengthen the neck. Chest and belly, same time to the floor if you can. Point the toes on the earth. Come into a baby cobra for a few breaths. So the wrists are beside your floating ribs here. Elbows are grazing your sides as you draw the shoulder blades down your back. Without cranking the neck, it's the upper back muscles that are coiling the chest up. You could even lift your hands off the floor and still be in the posture. Feel how grounded the tops of your feet are, supporting your lower back. Then with your hands pressing the floor, press up again through plank or hands and knees. Contract the belly to lift your hips up and back. Downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. So downward dog. Feel your fingers spread wide, your wrists, shoulders distance, or slightly wider apart. Index fingers are pointing straight ahead, not towards each other. Thumbs are spreading flat on the earth. Triceps, outer upper arms rotate towards the floor to broaden the shoulder blades across the back ribs. As you look at your feet, drop your head, bend your knees as much as you might need in order to lift the hips further up and back, creating the feeling of a flat back. Take another deep breath here. As you exhale, look forward. Empty the breath, hold it out. Lift your pelvic floor to walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Forward folds. Press with your hands. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen forward. Exhale, folds. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms, look up, palms touch. Exhale, hands together at the heart, mountain pose. Let's flow twice more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step to your version of plank. Carefully lower forward, then down. Feel the elbows hug your side ribs. Some of you come into cobra, others into upward dog. Breathe in, coil the chest up. Breathe out, press the ground away. Engage the belly to lift the hips back. Taking 3 to 5 breaths, holding downward facing dog. And though we're holding it, quote unquote, there's a feeling of energy moving, the breath flowing. As you ground through fingers spread, that's as if roots are digging down into the earth and you're rebounding a lift of the pelvis up and back, creating even more length in the spine and the lower back with each breath. Front of your thighs are firming back as the heels descend. It's okay if they're not touching the mat. With very bent knees, lift your heels and hips and look in front of your hands. At the end of your exhalation, try holding the breath, lifting your pelvic floor to walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Forward folds. Inhale, press to lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Root down through your feet. Inhale, rise up, palms touch. Exhale, mountain pose. One more. Inhale, the arms overhead. Flowing to the breath, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen. Some of you might float to chaturanga. Otherwise, step to plank and glide forward. Hug the elbows to your sides as you lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Press up, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Steadying your breath. So as you firm down through both hands, feel the leveling of your 2 hips. Try to keep that as you raise the right leg slowly behind you. Breathing in, flex the foot, draw the left hip back. Breathing out, come forward to plank and bend the right knee towards your nose, contracting the belly, rounding the back. Inhale, re-extend the leg. Looking forward, balance your 2 shoulders and cross the right knee to touch left tricep or elbow, twisting forward in plank. Inhale, re-extend the leg. Exhale, touch the outside of your right upper arm, hovering the foot before stepping it forward outside of your right hand. Now you could stay high in the ball of your left foot in lizard lunge, or you could lower your left knee. Do what allows your breath to stay calm, flowing, yet you're still feeling an opening in the outer right hip and thigh. From here, there's a lot of variations as we hold this posture a few more breaths. If you're not yet feeling much in the outer hip and thigh, you could lower your forearms to the ground, taking you a little further. You could also flex the right foot, stabilize the right knee, while splaying the thigh open, gently scissoring the right hip back, leaning the outer edge of your right foot on the ground. Now, if your left quadricep needs a stretch here, and this is accessible, you could bend the left knee, scoot it back another inch or so, and backstroke the right arm to catch hold of your left foot, gently bringing the left foot closer to your glutes. Whatever variation, remember it's your choice. How are you listening to your body with compassion? Finding a good balance of what asana actually means. A steady and comfortable pose. And the Sanskrit words of all of these yoga postures has the word asana at the end. So not by nature of the pose necessarily, but by your nature and connecting to it, using your discernment, your breath. Let's gently release the back leg if you have it. Walk your right foot to the front and center of your mat, preparing for Warrior Two. Straighten your left leg, spin the heel down, pivoting the left toe slightly to face the front of your mat. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot, firm down through your feet, and cartwheel your arms to rise up. Now take a look at your hands and see that they're hovering just above your ankles in this wide stance. See that your left knee and toes are slightly facing the front of your mat. Your right knee and toes completely facing the front of your mat. Then steady your gaze just ahead of your right hand and feel the energy of your legs. Though they're not moving, imagine as though you're dragging your feet towards each other as you feel your pelvic floor lift, the lower belly engages. If you're looking for more rigor, bend the right knee 90 degrees. Soften the shoulders down. Feel a balance of efforting with a sense of allowing. Allowing space through the breath. Allowing ease. Last 3 breaths in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Triangle pose, straighten the right leg. You might shorten your stance an inch or 2. Sweep your hips sideways towards the rear of your mat. Reach your right hand beyond your right knee, lengthening your right side body as you set your right hand down on your right shin, thigh, or just to the outside of your right leg, perhaps on a block or the floor. Now, notice how it feels in the right side of your body where you've placed your right hand. If you place your hand too low, you might feel a sense of squishing, compression in the right lower back. We don't want that. You always can bring the right hand a little higher, slide the right hip further back, retuck the right glute under, making any adjustments you need so that, again, breath is steady, body feels stable, strong, yet open. Now the eyes can be looking up past your left thumb. If it doesn't feel okay on your neck, look forward or down. Find one point to focus on for the last 4 breaths. Utthita Trikonasana. As you firm down through both feet, lift your kneecaps, meaning engage your quadriceps, fronts of your thighs, without locking your knees. Feel stability there, your connection to the earth. Lengthening the spine, tailbone reaches towards left heel, crown reaches towards past the front of your mat. Shoulder blades pressing down the back. Now let's take the same shape and take flight, practicing Ardha Chandrasana half moon. To get there, look down on the floor ahead of your right foot and steady your gaze and breath. You might bring left hand to left hip to help transition. Bend your right knee, crawl your right fingertips 6 inches forward into the right outer upper corner of your right pinky toe. Drag your left foot forward and flex it, lifting your left heel to the height of your hip. Press the crease of your right hip back towards your lifted foot. Turn your chest to face the left side, just like you did in triangle, and feel your left shoulder stack above your right wrist. Breathe. Firm the belly in. You got this. Maybe raise the left arm. Any variation. Maybe lift a finger or more. Maybe bend left knee towards belly and catch the foot into full moon, Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Last 3 breaths. Feeling your connection to the ground as you root down and rise from it, expand. Feeling your own strength and stability. Slowly straighten the left leg if it's bent. Take your time bending the right knee and softly as you can land the left foot back in Warrior 2. Flip the right palm up, sweep it overhead towards the rear of your mat, landing left hand on left leg or behind your back if you want to open the front of the shoulder a little more. Take a couple more breaths here in Peaceful Warrior, opening up the right side of your torso and relaxing your shoulders down. On an exhale, lower your 2 hands to the mat, step into plank pose. Bring your feet together to touch and plank. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot flexed. Step your right foot on the right edge of your mat, up the middle of your mat, pivoting the right foot to face the right, like a kickstand on a bike. Push the floor away with your 3 limbs as the right arm raises up, and you are in modified side plank. About 4 more breaths. Feel the left hip lift away from the floor using your obliques. Right hip stacks above left. If you feel pretty stable, you could stack the right foot directly over the left foot and flex both feet. Can you feel a semblance of triangle pose and half moon pose, last 2 postures you just practiced? Using that same stability, rooting down, lifting up, expanding with each breath. Yes, sweep the right arm overhead. Option to lower through plank into a vinyasa or lower your knees to the ground and rest like this in child's pose. Whichever way allows you to reconnect to calm, steady breath. We'll meet in downward facing dog. When you arrive in downward facing dog, feel your fingers rooted to the earth, shoulders and hips lifting back. Breathe. Steady breath. Inhale, raise the left leg and square your hips, flex the left foot. Exhale, bend the left knee towards your nose, round forward and plank, lifting the belly. Inhale, re-extend the leg in downward dog. Shoulders stay balanced, look forward, cross left knee to right, elbow or tricep, twisting in plank. Inhale the left leg back. Use the power of your breath to tap the left knee to left tricep, outer upper arm, hover, then step, left foot outside, left hand. Lizard lunge. You could stay high on the ball of your right foot. You could lower the right knee. You could even come down to your forearms if you want to feel more intensity in the left hip. You might also flex the left foot and splay the left thigh open, leaning the outer edge of your left foot on the ground. So play with it. Notice how it feels on the side. It might be a little different than the first side. Gently scissor your left hip back. If you're looking to open up your right quadricep at the same time here, scoot the right knee back an inch or 2 so that when you bend it, you're not putting any weight on your kneecap. Your weight is on your thigh. Then backstroke your left arm to catch hold of your right foot. Softly bring the right foot closer to your glutes. Breathe in, feel the belly expand. Breathe out, listen to the whisper, the back of your throat. As you continue to breathe through the nose and smoothen the breath out, feel the effect on your nervous system. Feel the response in your body. You have control over that. No matter what's happening externally, feel your power as you refine your sensing of it. One more deep breath. If you have the back leg, gently release hold of it. Plant your 2 hands at the front of your mat and step left foot front and center of your mat. Straighten the right leg. Spin the right heel down, pivoting the toes slightly to face the front. Align left heel to the arch of your right foot, rooting down through your feet. Windmill your arms to rise up into Warrior Two, second side. Now take a look at your ankles and see that they're pretty much right under your wrists in this wide stance, and that your spine is centered upright between your feet. Right knee and toes are slightly facing the front. Left outer hip wraps slightly under the body as you firm the top of your right thigh bone back. Pelvis is sitting upright, neutral. Then feel the extension of your arms, broadening your collarbones, broadening your upper back as you relax the shoulders down, steadying your gaze or drishti. So as you define what you focus on with your eyes, steadying your gaze, you define your focus. Last 3 breaths here. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Root down through your feet as you straighten your legs. Preparing for triangle, you might shorten your stance an inch or 2. Slide your pelvis towards the rear of your mat, reaching the left hand past your left knee so as not to shortcut that left side body as you lower the left hand on your leg or just to the left of your leg. Feel your shoulders and your wrists stack in one line as you continue to roll your left outer hip slightly under your body. Press the crease of your left hip back towards your outer right foot. Firm into the ground with both feet. Feel your rootedness. And with your breath, expand into the belly, expand into the rib cage. Feel your lungs fill with the life force your breath is moving. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Steady your gaze, perhaps up at your right thumb. 3 last breaths in Utthita Trikonasana. Moving into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Look down at the floor in front of your left foot. You might place the right hand on the right hip to help you transition. Steady your breathing, take your time. Bend your left knee, place your left fingertips upper left corner from your left pinky toe about 6 inches ahead. Drag your right foot forward and flex the foot. Lifting the heel to the height of your hip right away. Let your right foot feel as if it's pressing against a supportive wall. Draw your left hip crease back towards your right foot. Lengthen that left underside of your torso as you did in triangle. And as you turn your chest to face the right side, feel your right shoulder stack above your left wrist. Maybe explore raising the right arm. Feel the support of your legs, your navel, drawing in towards the spine, your breath. Any variation, maybe lifting a finger or more from the floor, maybe bending right knee towards the belly, catching the foot, full moon pose. Last 3 breaths. Commit to the quality of your breathing, however you decide to vary the pose. Yes, you got this. Re-extend the right leg if it's bent. Bend your left knee, softly step the right foot back to Warrior 2. Beautiful transition. Sweep the left palm up and overhead towards the rear of your mat. Right hand can lightly land on right leg or wrap behind your back to open the front of the shoulder. Take 3 breaths here. Keep the left knee bending towards the front. Careful not to buckle it into the right. Shoulders relaxed. Breathe into the left wall of your rib cage. On your next exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground in plank pose. With legs straight, bring your feet together in plank, shoulders right above the wrists. Look forward on the ground, breathe, belly engaged. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, flexing that foot. Step your left foot midway up your mat to the left edge of your mat. Pivot the left toes to the left. Push the floor away with left foot, outer right foot, and right hand, lifting the right hip. Raise your left arm to stack your wrists. Feel how similar it is to triangle and half moon. If you'd like to add a little more fire to it, stack your left foot flexed over your right foot flexed. And let's take at least 3 more breaths. Feel the right hip lift away from the ground. Feel the bottom of your front ribs seal in towards your back. Shoulder blades spread across the upper back away from the neck, lengthening from crown to tailbone to heels. Sweep the top arm overhead. Through plank, you decide, do you need to flow, cat-cow, vinyasa? Do you need to rest? We'll meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keeping your hips leveled, inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose and pause. Shoulders stack over wrists. Take another breath. Press down with your hands and lift the belly. As you exhale, softly land the right foot just inside the right hand, warrior one. Spin the back heel down. Separate your feet hips distance. Turn both hips to face forward and press through both of your feet to rise up, standing in Virabhadrasana 1. So like a lunge, your 2 hips are equally facing forward. Separate your feet wide enough so that you can. Bend the front knee right on top of the heel and draw the thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. As you straighten the left leg, press the outer heel firmly into the ground and spin the inner thigh towards the rear of your mat. Now feel your pelvis like a bowl. Rather than spilling it towards your front thigh, lift the frontal hip bones and anchor your tailbone down. Then with your breath, trace your awareness up the ladder of your spine. Lifting your arms, roll the triceps forward, press the shoulder blades down. If you want a little more fire here, try sealing the palms with arms straight, looking up. Last 4 breaths, Virabhadrasana 1. So again, though we're quote unquote holding the pose, feel the constant movement of energy rooting down through both feet, right hip scissoring back, left hip forward, navel drawing in and up, heart expanding, shoulders relaxing. Now keep your legs as they are. Bring your hands behind you. Either grab a strap to hold between your hands or interlace your fingers. Bend the elbows close together and breathe in to coil your chest up. Either stay here or begin to bow forward, challenging your balance in humble warrior. Now if you're bowing, continue to scissor the right hip back. Feel the counterbalance of your left heel on the floor. Raise the arms away from your lower back with a little bend in your elbows to also lift the shoulders away from your neck as you let your head drop. Last 3 breaths. Feel the right hip continue to scissor back. Now look ahead of your mat. Begin to crawl your fingertips 1 foot ahead of your right toes. Lift the heel of your left foot, pivoting to parallel your feet in a lunge. Shift your weight onto your right foot, coming into modified warrior 3. Flex the left foot and lift the leg parallel to the floor. You could use your right thumb to tack the right outer hip back as you level your 2 hips. Lift the lower belly, perhaps lift the hands. If you want to play with hands free here, you could join the hands in prayer at your heart. You could open them like wings. If you're looking for more spice, you could add the arms forward, maybe palms touch like warrior 1. Feel as if your left heel was pressing against a wall as the navel lifts, chest broadens forward. Soften the edges. What could you relax that doesn't need to be efforting here? Last 2 breaths in warrior 3. Begin to lower your hands. Lift the inner left thigh a little bit more. Lift the chest forward. Breathe in. And then exhale. Cross the left leg behind the right leg in a standing cross-legged forward fold. Bend your right knee slightly. Come up halfway again. Tilt a little more weight forward towards the balls of your feet. Then hinge from your hips. Relax your neck. Might feel good to shake your head. Nod your head. Flutter your lips. Remove any tension in the jaw. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bring the feet together, uncross, forward fold. Knees together, bend your knees, sink your weight back into your heels for a few breaths in chair. Start with the arms forward, palms face up. Draw the shoulders back and down. Draw the shin bones back. Then begin to raise your arms just to the degree that you can maintain the most length in your neck without shrugging your shoulders. Last 2 breaths. Inhale. Curl up the corners of your mouth. Exhale 2. Inhale. Draw in the front ribs. Exhale, press into the ground. Rise up, mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you spread your toes, spread your weight through the 4 corners of each foot. Feel the rebound of what you're pressing into the earth help you to lift up. Stand a little taller. Now imagine that right behind your body is a wall, like when we're lying on the ground in the beginning. And against that wall, you're pressing your 2 shoulders, your 2 hips evenly, maintaining equal space along the sides of your torso. Keep that awareness and bring your left hand to left hip, bend your right knee and flex your right foot in front of you. With your right arm inside of your right thigh, does this sound familiar? Catch the big toe of your right foot with your index and middle fingers. If that feels too far away, catch your knee instead. You can keep the knee entirely bent. If you have your big toe, flexing the foot, begin to extend the leg forward to whatever degree allows your spine to stay upright. You're not bowing forward. Your 2 hips stay leveled. Breathe. Then rotate the right leg externally so the right knee and toes point to the right. And as you open the right leg slowly, begin to open the left arm, the counterbalance. So we did something similar on the ground at the very beginning. Here's the standing up version. Uttita Hasta Parangushtasana, which means hand to big toe pose. Last 2 breaths, steady your gaze. Yes, doing well, everyone. Bring the right leg in front of you. Lift the right leg, possibly straighten if it's not. Lift the pelvic floor, raise the arms. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, flex the right quad. Exhale, release the right foot down. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Look up, palms touch. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the heart. Exhale, bow in, feet touch, knees touch, bend your knees, sink your weight back into the heels. Let's take 5 breaths in chair. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, exhale 4. Look at the screen and feel the solidarity. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale, maybe sit a little lower. Last breath, relax something. Root into the earth and rise up. You did it. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Firm down through that right leg. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Steady your eyes, steady your breathing. Flex your left foot as you lift the knee. Bring your left arm inside of your left leg. If you're catching the big toe with your peace fingers. Otherwise, catch the outer left knee. More important to keep your 2 hips balanced. Feel the equidistance from shoulders to hips on left and right sides. Maintain that, belly firm. To whatever degree, if you have your big toe, begin to straighten the leg forward. Just allow the spine to be upright if it means bending the left knee. Turn out the left leg, then begin to open it. As you open the right arm, steady breathing. Feel the support of the ground you're pressing into in order to lift yourself up. Feel the support of your breath that you empty in order to invite anew. Feel the support of your focus. What was that intention for your practice today? Begin to bring the left leg in front. Straighten it to whatever degree. Arms up. Lift the pelvic floor. Breathe in. Exhale 3. Breathe in. Exhale 2. You got this. Last breath. Step the left foot down. Release the arms. Let's turn to face the white side of your mat and come into a wide-legged forward fold and inversion. So separate your feet, parallel them, bring your hands to your hips. Then roll your shoulders back as you inhale to lift your heart. Hinge from your hips. You might bend the knees in order to find the full length of your spine, as if trying to create a flat back. Fold. Lower your hands. If the floor is too low and you don't have something to place your hands on, you could bend the knees more and or step the feet wider apart. Come up halfway, lifting your chest, lengthen forward and slide the shoulders down your back. We're going to add a twist first. Place your left hand front and center, just beneath the heart. Raise the right arm. Keep the pelvis still and rotate your chest to face your left legs. So left arm is up. You're twisting towards your left leg. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Lean forward. Breathe in. Use your obliques to continue twisting while keeping your hips leveled. One more deep breath. Feel the extension of your wingspan, radiating energy from your heart. Set the left hand down. Switch hands, the right arm up. Breathe in, lengthen your crown forward. Breathe out, stabilize your hips. Use your obliques to turn the chest to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist some more. Relax the jaw. Take one more full breath. And release both hands. Now here you have a variety of options. You could walk the hands back, you could hold opposite elbows and sway the spine with bent knees. You could add a tripod headstand if that's in your practice. So let's take several breaths to go into your version of an inversion here. Just going upside down is such a great way to reboot many of your systems besides shifting your perspective literally and energetically. If you might feel stuck in the mind, it's a nice way to just get the blood flowing to the brain. Stimulates blood flow in reverse, especially through the digestive organs, boosting that process of digestion. You might be clasping the big toes and pulling yourself further into the fold while lifting the shoulders away from the neck. Whatever variation, let's take 5 more deep breaths. Begin to crawl the hands forward as your feet are on the ground. Come up halfway, bend the knees a lot, and bring your hands to your hips. Point the elbows up, lead with your chest, and inhale to rise up. Let's come down to sit on the floor, extending the left leg forward. Now, as we set up for another twist, you can step the right foot right in front of your hip, or you could cross the foot outside your left knee, which will take you deeper. Just make sure your 2 sitting bones are firmly grounded. If it throws you off balance, do the version that doesn't. You could also bend the left knee here. Place your right hand on the ground behind your pelvis and raise your left arm. Press into the floor, even with your right foot, and breathe in to lift and lengthen your spine. Breathe out, relax the shoulders and rotate your chest to the right. Hold your shin on top or hook your elbow outside the thigh. Again, press into the floor, breathe in and lift, lengthen the spine. Breathe out, hollow your belly, deep in the twist. About 3 more breaths. Here we're also massaging and stimulating your digestive organs, besides decompressing the spine, stretching the back. As you breathe out, unwind. We're going to go right to side 2. Extend the right leg forward. Step left foot in front of the hip or cross the foot outside your knee and or bend the right knee. Place the left hand behind your pelvis. Raise the right arm. Press into the ground. Breathe in to lift and lengthen your spine. Breathe out. Twist to your left. Hold your shin on top or hook your elbow outside the thigh. And as you rebroaden the chest and press the shoulder blades down your back, feel the alignment of your spine. The crown of your head lifting to stack above your tailbone within the curvature of your spine. Last 3 breaths. And unwind your torso. We're going to lie down on our stomach, coming all the way to the ground. So those of you that are looking for just a little more activity before we completely wind down, I invite you to prepare for bow pose, where you bring the knees close together, bend them, and catch your outer feet for a back bend. If you're not looking for more activity, come into Sphinx pose. The elbows are on the floor, slightly in front of your shoulders, and you're opening the chest like this. If you're in bow, give yourself at least 5 deep breaths before you let it go. You're kicking the legs towards straight while pulling the feet towards you, keeping the knees no wider than hips width. Grounding the pubic bone, lifting the heart, but pressing the shoulders down your back as you look slightly down, not cranking the neck. Great for also stimulating the digestive organs while opening the front of the shoulders, stretching the front of the body. When you decide to come down, whatever version you're in, turn one ear to rest in the ground and pigeon toe your feet. We're going to practice one more back bend. So give yourself about 3 deep belly breaths here. Out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now you could opt for bow, Dhanurasana, catching the feet again. You could opt for Sphinx, elbows to the floor. Or bridge pose, lying on your back, which I'll take you through if you're going to follow me to that. So choose your last back bend for 5 to 8 breaths. Bridge, bend the knees, feet are flat on the ground, hips width, parallel. Arms straight down by your sides. Have your feet where you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. Then ground your shoulders and feet and lift your pelvis. Lengthen your thighs forward parallel and slide the upper arms underneath your back ribs. While keeping your arms straight, if your hands easily touch, you might interlace the fingers. Tilt your chin slightly away from your chest, opening your throat. Fill up your lungs. This is a great posture for expanding the capacity of your lungs. When you finish your own count of 5 to 8 breaths, use an exhalation to release the arms and carefully lower 1 vertebra at a time. Either position you're in, let's meet lying down on your back. Bending the knees into your chest, perhaps rocking side to side or circling the legs, or splaying the thighs apart like a frog lying on its back, or happy baby, catching the outer feet, soles of the feet facing the ceiling, parallel feet, grounding the tailbone. If you have another way that you prefer to lift your legs up higher than your heart while cooling down like shoulder stand or plow, feel free to take that on your own if you know how to practice it safely. In whichever manner you're lifting the legs, let's take at least 3 more longer exhalations than inhalations. You might count to 5 as you breathe in, to 7 as you breathe out, cooling down. Taking your time, if you're in plow or shoulder stand, move through plow. Begin to lower your legs to the floor. Take any final movement to just help release your body. Be able to splay out your legs on the ground, splay out your arms, turning the palms to face up as the shoulders relax into the floor. And closing your eyes, soften all the muscles in your face. Feel your tongue and jaw. Feel the skin on your forehead. Feel the softening of your scalp as you relax your neck. Scan the rest of your body all the way down to the soles of your feet, giving it loving permission to release effort and to receive the benefits of the work you've done here. Keeping your eyes closed and your body still. For the next 2 minutes, decide if you'd rather stay in Shavasana longer or find a comfortable seat to sit in meditation. If you're sitting, feel the length of your spine as your body relaxes into natural breathing. Practice steadying your awareness, whether on your breath, whether expanding that awareness to the thoughts that pass, the feelings that pass. Be here for 2 minutes. If you're still lying down, begin to turn over to one side, perhaps keeping your eyes closed as you press the ground and rise up. Sitting tall, join your palms to meet at your heart. This gesture of gratitude to yourself, to each other, to the practice, but also a gesture of union, which is exactly what yoga means. As you practice uniting all these aspects of you, mind, body, spirit, awareness, feel the strength that you hold. As Ronald Alexander states, your inner goals. The great opportunity in any crisis is that it can awaken you to your desire for meaning, for living more authentically, more vibrantly. Your inner gold consists of your resources for creating a new, more satisfying mandala or way of being. Let's close the practice together, chanting the sound that reminds us of how we are all interconnected. The sound of Om. Take a deep inhalation. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.